Alright guys, Michael Hart here, and in this short video I'm going to be sharing a case study where I leveraged a what's called a like campaign on Facebook to a very targeted audience to build a fan page of over 15,500 people in only 42 days. My cost was only $10 per day. So I'm going to be covering the three types of Facebook bidding that you can use. Cost per click is the most popular, where you put a set price. So every time someone clicks your ad, it charges you that price, where there might be a few pennies, all the way up to sometimes $1.50 or more. But usually it's pretty cheap for most niches on Facebook, at least for 2014. That might change, just like how Google's cost per clicks went way up from a few cents to as much as $15 per click for something like a deck consolidation ad. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. The other two types of bidding, there's CPM, which stands for cost per milli. So let's say your CPM is 3 cents, then that would mean that it's going to cost you 3 cents every time your ad is shown 1,000 times, which is very cheap. So when you start to get into things like retargeting, which is those ads that follow you around and you see them on every single authority website like Fox News, CNN, Huffington Post, that would be ad retargeting, which is really extremely powerful. I mean, that's really how you stay top of mind with your prospects, and that's usually anywhere from $1.50 to $2.25 per thousand ads shown. The exception to that, or the catch to leveraging that, is that you have to have at least 1,000 visitors to your website before you can usually start doing ad retargeting. But again, not that difficult to do when you're leveraging something like Facebook marketing. So I covered cost per click, CPM, and this case study is optimized CPM, which is Facebook's optimized version. So basically, whenever you start a campaign like this, you want to start it at midnight, because that's the very beginning of the day. And what they do is they show your ad a ton of times to a ton of people. And if your ad performs well, meaning a high CTR, which is usually over 1, then they're going to show your ad a ton more times. You're going to get a lot more page views. In the case of this case study, it was shown over 88,000 times when I'm sharing my screen. So I'll go ahead and let this video start, and then I'll pop in at the end, since this case study I did was a few months ago. Hope you learned something, and I'll be back at the end.
This is one of my campaigns that I've been testing over the last month. You can see I started, September 12th, 13th. I had about 274 likes. Is this reading right? Yeah. I had 1,504 likes. My first day I only spent $10 because I set my daily budget at $10 a day. Overall click-through rate was 2.8. Anything over a 1 is good. But then I paused it. I paused it for 10 days. So then I decided to crank it back up again. Oh, and you know what? I just remembered. On the 10th day of my first campaign, I know I had 1,229 likes. Overall, the actual page is about to break. Hang on, let me pull that up. About to break 10,000. Mute that. 9,888. So this has been a month minus 10 days, 20 days, and I'm about to break 10,000 people, which is cool. Let me shut my chat off here. I'll shut that off. Where do you go off? Turn off chat. There we go. For all friends. Okay. Hopefully I won't do this next time. So, I chose a niche, and granted, I learned from a really clever Facebook marketer. This guy, Don. He's great great dude. He gives so much wonderful free content. But you got to choose if you really want to grow crazy pages like this. It's always good to choose something where people are irrationally passionate, meaning they just want to just argue. They feel very strongly about their feelings, and this is obviously a great example: gun rights. Because Obama is trying to ban them, and he doesn't like the idea of Americans having guns. But when you create a page like this and you share with pictures, Facebook's a very viral thing where people love to discuss, guns and the news, and how it is. So you can see I've got some offers in there, but people love to share photos, and it's always good to take something that's trending and try to monetize that. So in this case, government shutdown, 37 things to stockpile in the event of a coming disaster. This is an affiliate link where if someone goes and buys this, I get paid a portion of the sale. So the trick is create your audience first and then figure out how to monetize it. Now, how do you continue to communicate with your people other than on a Facebook page? Get them to sign up for your email list. Well, how do you do that? You can obviously post the link, but you can also have the tabs set up right here. So sign the petition. Sign the petition to protect your gun rights. When this thing loads, boom, there's an email opt-in page. Now I can send out emails to these folks and thank them, give them something for free, then give them a survey, ask them what they want to know more about, and then give them what they want. It's a very wonderful system that you can repeat over and over and over again. So back to my campaign. There's two methods of bidding in it's a PPC or a pay-per-click campaign. There's cost per click and there's cost per impression. Now, cost per click is great if you want a ton of traffic immediately, but it also gets very expensive. So depending on the niche, even though cost per click is very cheap on Facebook versus Google. When I tried to run some cost per click Google campaigns for my first company I started, which was credit counseling, it was $15 per click. That's just crazy. Every time someone clicks, $15 out of my pocket. So with Facebook, instead of doing a cost per click, which you can, and it's still great if you wanted to just range traffic, you can do a cost per impression, CPM. It's actually cost per milli meaning thousands. So for every 1,000 times your ad is shown, you can bid on that price, which is 2, 3, 16, 24, 30 cents. And that's what I did. So my average cost per page like is 3 cents. I got 5,306 page likes in the last 28 days, minus a 10-day period. It actually spiked back up. My click-through rate actually went higher. I had about a 1% click-through rate, and then I made my ad much more red because that sticks out. Like guns, then like us. Very simple. And I targeted people who are all men who like Ted Nugent because he loves gun, and then a bunch of gun manufacturing companies. Kind of a no-brainer here. So you can get very targeted with who you want to run your ad to. And then I'm simply running this ad, which shows up on the right-hand side. So, the cool thing about Facebook, they can go and like this. They don't even have to go to the page. So once they like your page, then when you post a picture, it's going to show up in the newsfeed ad. And that's how you start interacting with and building your audience. Okay, so that is the Facebook page in a nutshell. I'm sure I could probably talk more about that and get more targeted and drilled down about that. But it's very important to have a very clear call to action. Have a link to your email opt-in at the top, have it up here, and then have it throughout your page. But asking your people to share, share if you agree, share if you like the Glock, share if you like whatever it is that your page is about, and then putting offers here and there. I actually put some offers too close together. You really should spread it out every 3 to 4 posts with an offer. But this page continues to grow at $10 a day, and I'm pretty excited to see how much money I can pull out of it simply by giving my audience what they want. So that is something that I can't wait to duplicate over and over again. Let's see. So, a lot of folks have questions about internet marketing. Mike, how do you make money online? And obviously, I just showed you one way to do that. But, another really awesome method, it's something I've studied for a while, is really learning how to create products to market to your audience. And that's something that I've been fascinated with for a while. I actually wrote a book back in 2006 called Carbon Copy Profits, but I didn't market it well at all. It took me forever. I think it took me like 8 or 9 months to write the book. I created a PDF document, hosted it on ClickBank, which is an affiliate website, clickbank.com. You should go there or write that down. And they basically handle all the payments for you. The drawbacks to ClickBank are that they take 2 months to pay you, but you don't have to pay for anything other than posting your product. So if it does well, and you can just focus on the marketing, so they're good to start out with. There are some other affiliate networks like Mike Fulsame's network that he just started, where it pays you, pretty quickly, 7 days. Of course, I'm drawing a blank on what that is, but I'll get back to you on that. But I'll put some slides together just to kind of really piece out what people get stuck on, or to help you kind of follow the thought process here. So as far as the seminar, if you're new to internet marketing, most people just wonder, well, how do you really get the attention of people? And again, it's providing a lead magnet. It's providing some kind of offer, a free ebook, a free video, a free sample, a free download. Instant gratification. That's what we're used to. And then nurturing those people along with your email list, and continue to deliver free content. And then giving them something to offer at the end. It's not a hard sell kind of thing. So the most things that people run into is there's so much to learn, so you run into information overload. But really it's just coming down to figuring out how to offer someone a product or a service. So, again, dog training. It's pretty popular. This is a recession-proof industry. Someone's looking for dog training lessons because their dog is misbehaving. So figure out how to connect the customer with the product that solves their problem. I just showed you how to do that with the Facebook fan page. Or creating your own product, or offering consulting. A lot of people just want you to do it for them, and you can charge a lot more money for that versus just showing them how to do that in a $99 product. But if it's easy to help people realize that they should get you to consult, since there is so much to learn. So, registering a web address. Most people can figure this out, but a lot of people can't. You got to figure out how to point the web address to the correct DNS domain server, which is where you buy your hosting. Your hosting is, just like the phone service. But then you got to decide, what about Windows or Linux? Then you got to capture your site's visitor's name and email address via an autoresponder. Then you have to set up your email trainer to actually generate the right HTML code on your website so it works right. Then, of course, you got to come up with persuasive email copy to touch on their problems or the pleasures they seek to resolve. And, of course, there's FTP. How do you set up the FTP? Which port should I use? Which folder do I put it in to get my files into the correct folder so it actually shows live on the internet? Of course, then there's uploading WordPress, which is a wonderful software. It's free, but you got to connect the database. You got to create the usernames. You got to name the database. You got to set the permissions so it can read and write data. Then you got to figure out your sales funnels, your front-end products, your upsells, where you can make almost double, well, definitely more than double your sales, 30-40% conversions on your upsells, and then downsells, a lower price product for half price. Um, what about securing your membership pages so people can't take your products if you've got information products? You got to learn how to do that. What about your video content? If you're not using YouTube and you're hosting it, you can host it on a content delivery network like Amazon, but you got to learn how to do it to where it's web optimized. And then how do you host your video on content delivery networks so it isn't slow? What about a video player that actually looks nice? Or uh, integrating the social factor of Facebook app IDs to your web pages? What about compelling copy? What about your irresistible offer? What about the 13 styles of product launches you create? What style graphics should you be compelled to induce people to buy? You generating the traffic. There's a lot of different ways to do that. Cost per click or cost per impression, like I discussed earlier. How do you target your correct audience with buyer intent? So, you get the point. Most people lack a proven system to help you take baby steps until you complete your product. But people will always want solutions to these recession-proof niche markets. Because some of you are probably saying, well, how do I know what to sell? Well, there's finances, of course, number one. People are always looking to learn how to make more money. Faith, religion, developing the relationship with God. Family. Who doesn't want to improve their family life with their children, their husband, their wife? Fitness. America's full of fatties. And at some point, people want to look better and get in better shape and feel better and look better and help them accomplish things by just feeling better. Freedom from stress, freedom from your boss, freedom from working all the time, and fame. Some people just want to be famous, like Miley Cyrus. And the last one, sex. I kept it PG for you. The porn industry is a huge industry. I'm not saying go out there and start your own porn site, but sex definitely sells. Look at 50 Shades of Grey. So, these are industries where you can always make money. It's kind of like people always need to eat, have clothing, and shelter kind of thing. So, learning to build the audience, build the audience and ask them what the survey. Funnel them to an email list or tell them to go to surveymonkey.com and ask them 3 questions. Use those results to find the products and then create your own products. Well, now, where can you find your products? jvzoo.com is an affiliate network. And then also mentioned clickbank.com. But JVZoo is also a really great back-end thing. So the cool part is they already figured out what sells. You just got to go log in there and find it, create an account, get your encrypted affiliate IDs, post on your fan page, continue to build your audience with ads, and then ask your audience a loaded question that gives them what they already say yes to, and then give them that product. So let's say you have an audience of survival preppers, and they're paranoid about the government shutdown and they hate Obama, and you could quiz them and say, hey guys, just want to take a quick survey. What are you concerned about? No power in the event of a disaster? No weapons, no guns, no ammo to defend your family? No food? And based on their responses, email post that says, hey, we had a great response. A lot of you guys said you wanted more to find out how to do this. So, boom. Here's a book on how to survive an EMP pulse blast. If you don't know what EMP is, electromagnetic pulse. They discovered that when you drop atom bombs up in the atmosphere, it kills all electronic devices. Or how about how to generate solar power? If the power company shut down. Or how about buy a bunch of food you can bury in your basement and last for years so you can stock in there. So, it's just about knowing your audience. So this is just a short little preview to really test out Google Hangouts. If you found this informative, definitely share it, +1 it. Like us if you're on our actual website, which again is
socialleadfunnel.com is the website where I post a lot of my social media marketing videos. So we're going to have more case studies on ad retargeting, which is the ads that basically follows your prospects around on every authority site like CNN, Fox News, Huffington Post, really 97% of the web. And it's very, very cheap at anywhere from $1.50 to $2.25 per 1,000 times your ad is shown, which is nothing. It's pennies. So stay tuned. Be sure to share us, like us, do all that fun stuff, and check back soon. We'll be sharing more. Thank you, Michael Hart.